Hi students, in today's section we discuss about energy distribution of a black body spectrum. We learned about the black body in the previous section. A black body is absorbs all the radiations which incident on it na? And also we learned when a black body is heated it emits radiations of all possible wavelengths. When it is heated, it emits radiations of all possible wavelengths. Okay, so scientists performed many experiments, okay, on black body at different temperatures, and finally they concluded that if they plotted a graph between the spectral emissive power corresponding to the wavelength lambda at different temperatures, then they observed these type of curves. These curves are called as distribution curves. Okay, see these curves are continuous now, hence the black body spectrum is always forms a continuous spectrum. Okay, so from this graph we may conclude some points. Listen carefully. This curve is corresponding to temperature T1. This distribution curve is corresponding to temperature T2. And this one is corresponding to the temperature T3 now. And we said T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. So temperature T3 is more than compared with the temperature T2 and compared with the temperature T1. Clear? So see the first point. At a particular temperature T1, the curve is not uniform. Right now. So the energy distribution is not uniform at a given temperature. Is it clear? At a given temperature, energy distribution is not uniform. Okay. And second point, properly see, for the lower wavelengths and for the longer wavelengths, for shorter wavelengths and longer wavelengths, the energy associated with is minimum now. See, for longer wavelengths, more wavelength, and shorter wavelengths, less wavelengths, the energy distribution is very less. Check it every day. Okay, and third one, for a particular wavelength, for suppose here, for a particular wavelength, the energy associated with is maximum. See here, on the entire curve, this is the maximum value now. So let the wavelength will be called as lambda m1. Okay, and if the temperature rises, this is called lambda m2 now. For temperature T3, this is the maximum value now. So if you observe the graph clearly, temperature is rises, then lambda value will be moves towards the left of the axis. Clear? So on rising temperature, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity is shifted towards the left side. Or understand? Next, another important point what we learned from the graph is, see the area under the curve. The area under the curve, area under the distribution curve which represents the total emissive power of a body. Okay, total emissive power is nothing but denoted by capital E. Na? That value is equal to the E lambda into D lambda. This is E lambda and this is lambda. Na? If you multiply these two, then E lambda D lambda from 0 to infinity, okay, called as the total emissive power of the body. Na? So that value is always equal to the area under distribution curve. Clear? So practically, scientists found that the area under distribution curve is always depending on the temperature. See, for temperature T1, this is the area bounded. For temperature T2, this is the area bounded. For temperature T3, this is the area bounded. The value increases with temperature now. So the area under distribution curve is directly proportional to the fourth power of the temperature in Kelvin. That is experimentally found by the scientist. If area is directly proportional to T power 4, then emissive power of the body is also directly proportional to T power 4. Na? This point is very important for numerical purpose. Clear? So the area under distribution curve is directly proportional to the fourth power of the temperature in the Kelvin. Okay? So all these points you must remember. What is the first point? The first point says at a given temperature, energy is not distributed uniformly. And the second point, as temperature is changes, corresponding the area under the curve also changes. Third point, for shorter wavelengths and longer wavelengths, the emissive power or the energy associated with it is 0. And for a particular wavelength called lambda m, okay, the energy associated with it is maximum. Clear now? Please note it down. Next one, Wien's displacement law. Okay, so what this Wien displacement law tells? Observe the distribution curve. Here, if the temperature is increases, then the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity shifted towards the left of the axis. Na? See, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity shifted towards the left side. What does that mean? That means lambda m is inversely proportional to the temperature. See, temperature increases, lambda m moves towards the lower wavelength side now. So lambda m inversely proportional to 1 by t. Then you can return lambda m is equal to some constant by t now. Okay, if your t will be taken this side, then lambda m into t is equal to constant now. That constant here taken as the b. Okay, that means at a temperature T1, the wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity is lambda m1. So lambda m1 T1 is equal to, at temperature T2, corresponding wavelength is lambda m2. So lambda m2 T2, that is equal to, for temperature T3, corresponding wavelength is lambda m3. Lambda m3 T3. Okay, here B is called as constant now. That constant is named as Wien's constant. Okay, this law is named as Wien's displacement law. Hence, this constant is named as Wien's constant, and its value is 2.89 into 10 power minus 3 units. Wavelength units are meter, temperature in Kelvin. So units are meter Kelvin. Understand? So this is the Wien's displacement law. So what is a Wien displacement law? lambda m is inversely proportional to the temperature. Clear? If wavelength is inversely proportional to the temperature, frequency is directly proportional to temperature now, because wavelength and frequencies are inversely proportional to each other. We know that one. That's why the frequency corresponding to the maximum intensity is directly proportional to the temperature. Is it clear? Now let us see the applications of the Wien's displacement law. Please note it down. First one. This law is used to found the temperature of sun and temperature of stars. Okay, this law is used to measure the temperature of sun and temperature of stars. Second one, this law is used for measuring colors of the stars. If you observe the sky at night, stars are at different colors now. Okay, here depending on the color of the star, we can say the temperature of the star, the surface temperature of the star. Okay, if the star is appears as red, then the surface temperature of star is less. Why? Because we know VIBGY are na violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Out of all these 7 colors, which one has the more wavelength? Red na. So the wavelength always increases from violet to the red. Okay, red has the highest wavelength. If the red has highest wavelength, it is inversely proportional to temperature na. That's why if the star appears as in red color, its surface temperature is less. If the star appears as orange, surface temperature is more. If the star appears as blue, okay, then its surface temperature is highest. So, if you observe a red star and blue star, which star has more temperature? Blue color star has always more temperature. Or understand? This is the one of the application of the Wien's displacement law. Clear? Next one. If you heated a piece of small iron, continuously heated, okay, then if you observe, first it is in dull red. Dull red means wavelength more, temperature is less. So if you observe the dull red color, then what means its temperature is less. If you heat it continuously, then it becomes into the reddish yellow. If your temperature is much more increases, then it becomes into the white. Understand? So that indicates if the iron piece is becomes into the white color, which indicates its temperature is very high. If it appears as reddish yellow, temperature is somewhat less. If it is appears as dull red, then it indicates the very less temperature. This is about the Wien's displacement law. Okay, simply the Wien's displacement law says the maximum wavelength corresponding to the maximum intensity is inversely proportional to the temperature. Clear? Please note it down. Now we may learn about the Kirchhoff laws. Kirchhoff's laws. Okay. Kirchhoff law stated that the ratio of emissive power and absorptive power for a given wavelength and for given temperature is always remains constant. How the Kirchhoff law states? The emissive power and absorptive power at a given wavelength and a given temperature, its ratio is always remains constant. Okay. For suppose if you take about the black body, for a black body, emissive power can be written as E lambda b, absorptive power can be written as A lambda b. Okay, that values always remains constant now. That means that is equal to the E lambda by A lambda. We know the emissive power of the perfect black body is always equal to 1. That means E lambda by A lambda value always equal to the emissive power of the black body, and it is equal to the constant. Okay, in previous section we said E lambda is nothing but spectral emissive power. A lambda is nothing but spectral absorptive power. Okay, so if it is constant, can you write the first word? E lambda is directly proportional to the A lambda. Na? If A lambda will be taken this side, then E lambda is equal to some constant into A lambda means E lambda directly proportional to A lambda or not? What does that mean? If A lambda is more, E lambda also more. Na? So, good absorbers always good emitters. So, Kirchhoff law's major important point was good absorbers are always good emitters. Or understand? And the second point is the ratio of emissive power to the absorptive power for a given wavelength is always equal to the emissive power of the black body. Or understand? Now, by using this Kirchhoff law, we have some applications. The first one, okay, listen carefully. Take a white china dish. On that, some black spots are painted. It is a white china dish. Okay, which has some dark spots. Now, this dish is heated continuously up to the temperature nearly 1000 degrees Celsius. Okay, if you heat it continuously and suddenly if you take it into the dark room, then you observe that these black spots is there now. Those black spots are emitted more radiations. Okay, why? Because what we said, according to Kirchhoff law, good absorbers are always good emitters now. So whenever you heat it initially, then these black spots absorbs more heat. If you take it into the dark room, then it emits more radiations. Understand? And second one, Fraunhofer lines are the best example for the Kirchhoff laws. What are the lines? Fraunhofer lines. These are the dark lines in the solar spectrum. These are dark lines in the solar spectrum. Generally, what we think? Sun. From sun, radiations are continuously emits now. Okay, so we are always expecting the emitted spectrum. The emission spectrum of sun, if you observe, there is some dark lines also observed. Okay, that spectrum contains some dark lines corresponding to the absorption. Okay, why? because the Kirchhoff law says good emitters are always good absorbers. Na? Good emitters are always good absorbers. Na? That's why in the solar spectrum we observe some dark lines. Those dark lines are first invented by the Fraunhofer. That's why these lines are called as the Fraunhofer lines. Is it clear? So these two applications are very very important related to the Kirchhoff law. Are you understand? So Kirchhoff law says at a particular temperature for a given wavelength, the ratio of emisive power to the absorptive power is always constant and it is also equal to the emisive power of the perfect black body at a given wavelength. Clear? Thank you.